Hi, everybody. This is Nancy from the team at Community Homeworks in Kalamazoo. Thank you for tuning in to another story about the people we meet and the impact of our work. Since 2009, Community Homeworks has been working hard to help homeowners stay safely in their homes by providing critical home repairs to income-eligible people. We also offer home maintenance classes and even lend tools so we can cultivate basic skills as we build relationships across neighborhoods. This podcast, called Being Right at Home, will include stories of empowerment, stories of hope, stories of what can happen when people work together. In the words of T.S. Eliot, home is where one starts from. So let's begin. Okay, everybody, welcome back. I'm going to start this month off with some fun facts about spring because we are finally here after that long, cold winter. So here we go. It's about spring cleaning for all of you who are so inclined. Spring cleaning is a ritual. Let me tell you about it. This annual practice is actually rooted in various ancient traditions from around the globe, dating back centuries. While most with Jewish, Iranian, and Chinese cultures, spring cleaning became important in our history here in America in frontier homes. And here's why: to remove soot accumulation from winter oil lamps and stoves and dust. The earliest use of the term spring cleaning is said to have been back in our country in 1857. So there you go. Get your mops out and let's get going on that. Speaking of spring fever, I just want to remind you to please refer to our website for spring and summer classes at Community Homeworks. One of our most popular of all seasonal offerings is our lawnmower maintenance classes. So that's coming up. So regardless of the topic, though, whatever you find, please register. And just do know that all are welcome to this fun, free, and practical class list. So come on over and we'll have some fun. Today, I am so pleased. I've got Rabbi Schicker with me today. She is the rabbi at Temple B'nai Israel in Kalamazoo, where she has served since her ordination in 2018. She's a graduate of Hebrew Union College in Cincinnati, Ohio, and prior to that received a BA with honors from Birmingham Southern College in Birmingham, Alabama. So she's been around. She has served congregations in West Virginia, Michigan, Texas, and Iowa. We are going to ask her a lot about her background, but she was raised in an interfaith home, which I want to hear about. And one thing I know for sure is she is committed to inclusivity in her ministry and has served in various capacities around our community. So, Rabbi Schicker, welcome to Being Right at Home.
Thank you so much for having me, Nancy. It's lovely to be here with you.
I'm excited because I think I met you a couple years ago, and I wondered back then, what is it about our mission that aligns to you and what you do personally and as a rabbi? So let's get going on that. Can you introduce yourself? Just tell us about you and your work and your family and your fur babies, I heard. So tell us everything.
Sure, it's my pleasure. As you said, I've been in Kalamazoo since 2018 when I was ordained. I'm very proud to be the rabbi of Temple B'nai Israel, which was established here in Kalamazoo in 1866.
Whoa!
So the congregation has a long history here in Kalamazoo. As you said, I'm the product of an interfaith marriage. My father was a practicing Catholic, and my mom is a practicing Jew. And when they got married, no clergy would marry them. Actually, they got married by a justice of the peace because nobody wanted to marry them in the mid-'80s. So that is a part of my roots and part of the reason that I find inclusivity and interfaith work and reaching out to be at the heart of what I do. Is because my parents themselves did not find that kind of welcome in the larger community. Here, I'm married. I have 3 stepchildren, all teenagers now.
Oh,
it is a fun time. And yes, we have a dog and 5 cats. So I refer to my house as the zoo in the zoo.
The zoo in the zoo. Wow. And what about your work as a rabbi?
My calling to the rabbinate was actually at my bat mitzvah when I was 13.
Oh.
I had a calling. I am from the South. I am from Houston originally. Though the term is often most associated in a Christian context, like I really feel that I was called to this work, that it was the place I'm supposed to be. I love the fact that every day is different and I get to share my love of not only the tradition, but of working with people one-on-one and teaching all ages about a slew of topics.
And I heard the term rabbi actually means teacher. Is that true?
Rabbi means my teacher,
My
actually.
teacher. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And became a long time, very long time ago, became the title of a Jewish spiritual leader.
Okay. And in terms of B'nai Israel, how big is your congregation?
The congregation's about 100 households.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. And how are y'all doing over there?
We're doing all right. We're doing all right. It is, as it is for everybody, a complicated time. Right? We have the community is made up of a lot of teachers, professors, some doctors, a lot of social workers, people in those fields, as well as people working for Stryker, Pfizer, Zoetis, all the medical side of things. But
Interesting conversation, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of processing of all that's going on everywhere. So, and your teenagers doing well?
Our teenagers are doing great. We're very proud of them.
Good.
We're very proud of them. They keep us very busy.
I can only imagine 3 of Good for you. Well, I am pleased that you took time out today to be with us and to let us know about your involvement with Community Homeworks. When did that start? Because it was before I came on board. So I want to hear a little bit about how you got to know us, why our mission resonated with you. So can you tell us about that?
I think it must have been the fall of 2019. I think. Does that make sense?
Right before the
before the pandemic.
Okay.
Reverend Rachel Lonberg invited me amongst a number of clergy in town for a gathering to learn about Community Homeworks. And after hearing the mission of keeping people in their homes as the essence of everything Community Homeworks does, I was sold. And I did some thinking about why that sold me so quickly. I think I went home and immediately became a monthly donor, which I encourage everyone listening to be a monthly donor. Because having a safe place, knowing that there is a place to lay one's head and to eat and to be oneself, I think is the essence of being able to go out into the world and succeed in all ways. Personally, professionally, in school, in relationships, knowing that one has a safe place. We moved a couple of times, all within the Houston area when I was a kid. And part of it was based on some health issues one of my parents had and a need to keep a roof over our heads. Not that I knew that as a child. And when I think about that and how I never was in fear of not having a roof over my head,
You never knew.
I never knew the reason of the moves. It was just we're moving houses, and you're like, oh, but my friend's down the street. Because when you're a kid, that's what matters, right? Is that your friend's down the street.
Yeah.
And you don't want to move away from your friend, your school.
Will I see them again?
Will I ever see my friend again? Yeah. But as an adult, I now know the reason for that. And if it wasn't for familial support, outside of the nuclear family, we could very well have ended up in a housing crisis, being unhoused. And I am, obviously forever grateful that my parents didn't let us know that was the situation, that we were able to have that familial support. But I also know how many people don't have that support, can't have that support for any number of reasons. And therefore, Community Homework's mission of saying, we know that there are a lot of homeowners in our community who are in need of just a little help to keep them where they are. That is something that I want to be a part of.
Thank you. And you're so right. When I hear stories out in our community, sometimes it's a matter of a $2,000 fix, whether it's an HVAC issue or whether it's a plumbing issue. Sometimes it's not that major. And yet we've done some cost analysis. Is it better to do that or to watch them struggle? And like you said, Simone, you said it so well, it's going to impact every part of their life. It's going to impact their health, the educational capacity of the kids. It's going to impact everything. Do we want to see them unhoused or worried about that? So, yeah.
The stress of keeping a roof over one's head, one's utilities paid, and food on the table is a stress that our society, never mind our community, but our society should care more about. And I say that with my rabbi hat on, which is that's what our religious traditions teach us. We're supposed to care for the orphan and the widow. And the Bible acknowledges that there are always going to be people who are struggling. And alongside that, therefore, there must always be people helping and supporting.
Did you get that in school? Where did you learn? It was your personal, where did you... I mean, I'm so proud of you because a lot of people don't quite get that.
I think it's a mixture of religious traditions as well as, lived experience. You mentioned my background. So I was born in Houston. I've lived in Birmingham, Alabama, Greensboro, North Carolina, Cincinnati, Ohio, Jerusalem, Israel, as well as Cape Town, South Africa at various points before making it to Michigan. And in every community I have been in, tried to find a way to be a positive impact. And that has differed over the course of, obviously, time and financial ability. I was a student in a number of these places with, very little cash on hand, but an ability to put myself to work in a variety of ways.
Just that advocacy has been with you, it sounds like, from almost day one, probably.
I get it from both of my parents.
Do you? Wow. They must be so proud of you. How does your interfaith work then affect your daily life here? Because I know what you do for us, and I know how much you support us and how much it seems like anytime I ask you for a favor, it's like, yes, let's find the time. But yes, so, but I also know you volunteer or help a lot of people out in our community. So let's give a shout out to some of these people that you help.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Well, my congregation was a founding member of Isaac, and therefore, upon my employment, my involvement with Isaac was paramount to them. They feel very strongly as a congregation and as a community as well that we should be participating in the larger community in all ways.
So tell us all what Isaac stands for, just so everybody's on the same page here.
Isaac stands for Interfaith Strategy for Advocacy and Action in the Community.
Okay, Isaac. Okay, and there's local congregations of any faith community that is members.
Yes, right? Congregations as well as organizations.
Okay.
For example, El Concilio is a member of Isaac,
and so are we.
And so is Community Homeworks. There you go.
Yeah, good. And you also serve Friendship Village?
I do serve Friendship Village. I've been on the board since October of 2018.
Wow, since you arrived in town.
Basically, since I arrived in town. Our property actually backs up to Friendship Village and their garden homes. It's been a wonderful relationship. A number of my members have been or are residents at Friendship Village, and I just finished my term as president of the board this past October.
Wow, congratulations on that. Wow. Okay. Anything else do you do in the community besides this large congregation, teenagers, boards? What else? Anything? Do you sleep?
I also am one of the co-chairs of Faith Alliance, which is a program of Outfront Kalamazoo,
Okay.
in which we are kind of a support advocacy side of what Outfront does in regards to outreach to the religious community on LGBTQAI plus
Oh,
issues.
excellent. So you're involved with that. Wow. Yeah, you got a few things going. So, anything else?
I think that's good.
That's yeah, I think that's really good actually. Oh, wow. Um, I want to remind you and maybe you can speak to this as a participant. Our faith-based roundtable will meet again in November. And I just locked in our venue. It's going to be at Center Point Church this year. And it's going to be the first Thursday in November is what we're looking at. So stay tuned for that. But we've done that a couple years and you've been with us. You've been on board for those.
Absolutely. I learn something new every year.
Yeah, tell everybody about what happens during these lunchtime
Well,
gatherings.
Community Homeworks feeds us very well with that, whoever they get to cater, first of all. But it's a good opportunity to not only learn about what is current, not only locally in housing issues, but nationally in housing issues, as well as an acknowledgement of the various organizations and individuals who are working on various aspects of housing. I really appreciate that kind of attention being paid that, as people know, Community Homeworks was founded because there was a hole in the bigger picture of what kind of resources there were available for individuals, for families and such. And seeing everyone work together and being a resource to one another and for the people who come to any of the organizations in city, in the county, is really inspiring. And even after 7-ish years of being in Kalamazoo, there's always somebody new I get to meet and develop a relationship with.
We are a work in progress, all of us, I think. And one thing I love is that getting together with the faith-based community, it's seeing the exchanges and the connections you all make together, which I think is very cool. But also just seeing our role together in keeping people, getting them into housing and then keeping them into housing. We need the faith-based community. We can't do it alone. And so all of you with your platforms and your congregations are vital to us to get the word out, to make the referrals that when they're needed, and to kind of be our voice out in the community. So I just want to thank you for that and just understanding the importance of who we are and what we're doing and the impact of our work. So thank you so much. Anything else you want to share with our listeners?
I'd love to share a little bit about the importance of housing from a different perspective as well at this moment in our country and in our city. My congregation, along with many congregations in town, have become vital support for the newest members of our community who've come through refugee resettlement. And getting them into housing is step one, and keeping all of these new neighbors of ours in housing now that they have lost the promised federal dollars that we're supposed to pay for their housing is at the center of what my congregation is focused on at this exact moment. Knowing that we have to stabilize people in housing, as well as the important work of Community Homeworks in therefore keeping people in their housing once they're there.
Thank you for bringing that up. That is so timely and so important. And frankly, I think it's something we still need to build awareness on the need. And it's one thing to know there's refugees and people coming into our community where there's barriers. They have language barriers. They have educational barriers. They've got all kinds of barriers. So working together again as a community to not only welcome them and love them, but also to teach them So that whole thing is my teacher and being the teacher and to work with them and to learn. And again, just to learn, to see them, to hear them, and to just work as a community. So thank you for that, Simone. Is your congregation specifically working with a certain number of families or the whole issue, or what is?
My congregation got involved actually back in 2016 with Syrian refugees and sponsored some families locally that came through either Samaritas or Bethany.
Yep.
I'm not sure which one. That was before my time. And then once again, we got involved along with People's Church and Prince of Peace in Lutheran to like co-sponsor a number of families once we withdrew from Afghanistan. And so all of these families in some way or another have now become very connected with members of the congregation, either because of ESL, right, teaching English, or because they helped them run errands before they had cars, taught them to ride the bus, any number, grocery shopping, very overwhelming for new immigrants. And I say that my mother's from South Africa originally, and she would tell us as kids, the first time I went grocery shopping in this country, like there were too many types of bread and I left.
Oh,
Literally, like just completely overwhelmed by choice. And she's like, so I left.
I just
with no bread.
I walked out. I couldn't do it.
And so we've, longstanding commitment. At this moment, it's a huge issue with the loss of federal dollars. I believe it's just over 40 households who are here, right? Who are here, who have arrived in the past number of months, who have had their support cut off. And Samaritas has had their federal dollars cut off. Bethany has Church World Service, I believe, is the third that does resettlement locally. People have lost their jobs because of it. And so there's a desperate need to help people get stabilized as we work towards a more united future.
Exactly.
I would like to say.
Exactly. Collaborate. So, Rabbi, if people listening to this are saying, wow, I guess I forgot about the refugees coming in and here in Kalamazoo, and what would you tell them as far as how they could help?
I think the biggest priority is that personal connection, that personal relationship. Samaritas knows from research that they've done that refugees who have some type of volunteer working with them from the larger community, not just paid staff, have a much better success rate at assimilating positively into the community. Just having that friendship of someone to turn to when you're like, I'm not sure where to go, who's the right person to ask that question of, what's your favorite restaurant, has an enormous impact on the social and emotional well-being of our neighbors.
And just even, do you want to go grocery shopping together or something? So
Absolutely. Which doctor would you recommend, right?
Just those things we all take for granted that have been in this country.
Yeah, we take for granted until we move to another city, and then we don't have any of those things. Think about how much greater a change it is to come from another country.
Yes.
The other thing is that if you have the financial well-being to make a donation, the Kalamazoo Refugee Resource Collaborative, or the KRRC, is overseeing provision of the needed funds for the most recent 44 families who've been impacted by the federal stop payment order, and donations can go through them.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, so you listeners out there, please consider that, because there's a lot of needs out there, and I think they go unnoticed, and I'm even wondering if we're not hearing enough in the media about the needs. So thank you, Simone, for bringing that up, and just to thank you. Anything else you want to share with us before we wind up for today?
Just how grateful I am to have had this opportunity to speak with you, Nancy, and to be able to bring a little bit more attention to the good work Community Homeworks does for our community. And congratulations on 15 plus years in the community.
I know, 15 and counting. This is year 16, and there's no stopping us now. We just, I don't know if you knew this, but we just adopted a new strategic plan that will take us through the next 4 years. And it's robust, to say the least, and it's exciting, and we are moving right ahead. So,
Oh, well, congratulations. I look forward to learning more.
yeah, well, you will. You will. I promise you will. But thank you for spreading the word about us and all the needs in the community. And let's just stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Well, that's it for this time, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Between now and next month, we will continue to be in our community, making a difference. But before signing off, I want to ask for your help. Please consider supporting us with a donation of any size. You can easily do this by visiting our website, communityhomeworks.org. Your help will allow us to empower more families as we build a stronger community, one home at a time. So until next month, please take care of yourself and each other. From our team to you, bye-bye for now.